Imagine being able to face life stresses without letting anxiety control you, no matter what challenges come your way. Sounds appealing, right? But how can we truly achieve that mental clarity and calm? As a mental health counselor and being Greek myself, I've always been drawn to Stoicism, a practical and timeless philosophy from ancient Greece. Why am I mentioning Stoicism? Because its principles offer powerful insights that can transform how we manage anxiety. So in this video, I will share 3 key Stoic principles that, if applied consistently, they can help you handle anxiety more effectively and regain control over your emotional well-being. By the way, these aren't just quick fixes for instant relief. They're life-changing strategies, and this is not an exaggeration, as by taking charge of your anxiety, you will not only enhance your mental health, but you will also change the way you approach any challenge life throws your way. With that in mind, let's start off by understanding anxiety. Anxiety is more than just a fleeting worry, and it can take a serious toll on your thoughts, behavior, and physical well-being. When anxiety takes hold, it can feel like a constant cycle of overthinking, causing our minds to race with what ifs and worst case scenarios. And this mental strain often manifests in physical symptoms too. Tight muscles, headaches, and even difficulty breathing are very good examples of such situations. And if you think about it, it's as if your body is stuck in a fight or flight mode, even when there's no immediate danger. But here's where Stoicism comes in and offers practical tools to navigate emotional turbulence through one main teaching that's pretty well known. We can't control external events, but we can control how we react to them. This mindset is very helpful in managing anxiety, as it shifts our focus from the uncontrollable outside world towards the inner peace we can nurture. And this is indeed the first Stoic principle, the dichotomy of control. At its core, this principle is about understanding what's within your power. Your thoughts, your actions, and how you choose to respond to life's events are some examples. Everything outside of that, what people think of you, external circumstances, even the outcomes of your efforts, lies beyond your control. The Stoics remind us through this principle that trying to control the uncontrollable only leads to frustration and stress, while focusing on what we can control gives us peace. Let's consider a practical example so you can better understand this concept. Imagine you're preparing for a job interview and anxiety starts creeping in. You're worried about how the interviewer will perceive you, whether they'll like your answers, and if you'll be hired. All of these concerns are valid, but here's the key. You can't control the interviewer's thoughts or the ultimate decision they make. What you can control is how well you prepare for the interview, your attitude, and how you present yourself. So how do we put this into practice in daily life? One simple exercise is to start each day by mentally listing what's within your control for that day and what isn't. For example, you might say, I can't control how people behave in traffic, but I can control my reaction to it. Or I can't control whether it rains, but I can't control whether I bring an umbrella. This mental move from the first perception to the second will help you understand that anxiety often stems from wanting to control the uncontrollable. Once we stop fighting that battle, we can redirect our energy towards what really matters, which is pretty much everything we mentioned earlier: our actions, our thoughts, and how we choose to respond to life's challenges. So, once we apply the first principle, we can begin to shift our focus on how we think about potential challenges in life, which leads us to the second key Stoic teaching, negative visualization, a powerful mental technique the Stoics used to prepare themselves for life's uncertainties. At first glance, it may sound counterintuitive. Why would anyone want to visualize negative outcomes? But the Stoics believed that by mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, we could reduce the fear and anxiety surrounding them. Instead of being blindsided by challenges, you're prepared for them, and that preparation brings us peace of mind. Here's how this could work. Let's say you're worried about an upcoming presentation work. You fear that you might forget your key points or that the audience won't respond well. Negative visualization encourages you to actually picture these things happening, but with a twist. What's that? By mentally walking through the worst case scenario, you come to realize that even if these things were to occur, you'd still be able to handle them. Maybe you lose your place for a moment, but you recover. Michael Phelps, one of the most decorated athletes in history, has spoken many times about using negative visualization in his training and in his routine. You can watch the following clip and you'll understand what I mean.
Visualize it would be what you want it to be, what you don't want it to be, what it could be.
Yeah.
So it's like you're always ready for anything that comes your way. So it's like if I would have a suit rip, Fine, I need another suit, put it on.
So it's fair to assume that one could be very skeptical about this practice at first, but one important aspect of negative visualization is that it helps you face uncertainty with calm. It reminds you that even in the worst case scenario, life goes on, and so do you. Instead of being paralyzed by the fear of what might happen, you're prepared for it, and that preparation allows you to stay grounded. And maybe if you're an optimist and you don't like the idea of negative outcomes, you could come up with the positivity rule. Always finish the visual with a positive outcome. That could be something that could help anyone that's very skeptical about negative visualizations. But now that we are mentally prepared for the challenges ahead, the next, much more crucial step is to focus on where we are right now. And this brings us to the third Stoic teaching, the power of living in the present moment. The Stoics emphasized the importance of grounding ourselves in the present instead of getting lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past. For them, the present moment is all that truly exists, and going back to the first teaching, the dichotomy of control, is the only place where we have any control. Also, this idea has a lot in common with modern mindfulness practices. Both Stoicism and mindfulness teach us to focus on the present and experience it fully without letting anxious thoughts about the future take over. A great way to practice this is through a simple mindfulness exercise. The next time you feel your mind drifting into anxious thoughts, pause and take a few deep breaths. Bring your attention to something you can physically feel in the present moment, whether it's the sensation of your feet on the ground, the warmth of your hands, or the sound of your breath, or even an object. Let these small details anchor you to the now. As you focus on all these, notice how your mind begins to calm and your anxious thoughts start to fade. All these principles and practices may sound like easy fixes, but believe me, they're not. It's much harder than one can even think to integrate them, truly integrate them into their lifestyle and make them part of them. So remember, progress takes time, and you have to be patient with yourself if you want to embrace this overall philosophy. That's it for today. If you found these Stoic tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who could use a little more peace in his or her life, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content on mastering your mental health. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.